Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to Autumn's Quest. In the last episode, a ghost of the winter snow lured the weakest of our tribe out into the mountains, and it seems as though she may have been leading them straight toward her Arctic ram fox pack. At first we had assumed that her arrival meant warmth in our future, because she does bear the heat body too. But while she may banish the cold around her, she has left nothing but trouble in our tribe's path. So it's clear that many of our tribe mates won't trust her anymore. Anybody who got a whiff of this is going to be very, very suspicious of poor little Comey. But it honestly seems like all she really wants to do is join Sparrow and his group of sky pirates. She was so taken by him, just lingering right where he stood. It makes me think that maybe she wants to soar into the skies too, because she does have one of those wings. I wonder if perhaps the reason why she's stuck on the ground is because of the Arctic ram foxes themselves. Maybe they trapped her in their pack and forced her to do their dirty work, and all she wants is to find a way to escape. She might actually get her wish if Sycamore can manage to take down these Arctic ram foxes, but she's not going to be able to do it without help. So let's have Sparrow soar out of the way. He's going to want to come back here anyways to spend some time with his new son. And his mate, of course. It's been a long, long time since you two crossed paths. He has some brand new bluebird meat in his pocket though, so you guys are going to be very full. I feel like Willow is starting to realize though, that her sister isn't really doing so well. She's kept it quiet. She's been sick all of her life, of course, but she's never found it in her to complain. And since her own son isn't old enough yet to purr for her, and since it seems like those healing fruits are taking quite some time to grow back, I'm not sure if she's going to be able to last for very much longer. So maybe she and her sister can spend some time together? She does still have a mission to uphold after all, a secret to keep. So perhaps as she paws desperately at the remains of that rogue male, Willow is going to understand what she wants. She wants to find a route that they can finally use to set his remains to rest, because she feels like she may have been a little too hasty in judging him. But right now, the only route that we have left on this island, at least as far as I can see, is the one that is directly beneath the Arctic ram fox's feet. And I think that Ash is probably eyeing that one right now, though she was distracted by the root beneath her own feet on this turn. So Jolly, you might have to swoop in to help Sycamore with this. I know that you don't really have the best attack, but it would at least give us a little bit of a better chance. Some better odds, because as it is, Sycamore's really struggling. There's one more down. I wonder if maybe Miana could jump ahead? I mean, with the last bit of her strength, just like Hawthorne, maybe she could land one good attack too. We'll have to make sure that somebody comes up here to pick up the meat though, and that might as well be you, Ash. And then maybe we could find a way to warm up these creatures, because I'm starting to fear that maybe Sycamore and Kiara are going to freeze. Maybe that should be Jolly. She isn't Sycamore's mother, but she probably feels like she is. She basically raised her since she was a little baby after Flurry passed away. So seeing her torn like this must be tearing her apart too. She didn't realize that Sycamore was so lost in their tribe, enough to try to follow some ghost in the snow. And speaking of which, where did she actually run off to? Is she still lingering out here somewhere in the darkness? She must be out here. We'll be able to see her imprint in the snow, assuming that she's close to one of the snow borders. As soon as we pass the day, it'll be pretty easy to track her down. All we can really have Kiara do is try to shovel out some of the snow too. Just make it a little bit easier for these creatures to retreat. And then as for you, Winterberry, I think you've probably proven yourself in Sparrow's eyes. Were it not for you, he might not have even been able to get over to the Bluebird in time. She was stationed over here to help melt the snow and light his way too. So I guess you could kind of consider yourself as an honorary member of the Sky Pirates. You might not be able to fly, but you could be a pretty good lookout. You could find all of the best routes to catch your food. And by routes I mean paths. Not like routes that she could actually dig up. She could be like our little pathfinder. I think that's about all that we can do on this turn though. Unless maybe we bring Winterberry over to the snow. She does have a couple of extra turns, so let's have her try to help Willow melt some of the snow over here. Any little bit is better than nothing, I suppose. And then we'll be able to see if one of these water-breathing fruits grows back too. So that should be the end of our turns. Let's go back to our Arctic Ramfox pack and see if Miana is going to meet the very same fate as Hawthorne. Well, it looks like they left her alone, but that wasn't enough to save her, and right inside these clovers too. Almost as if our Earth Mother is giving her a nice big hug, welcoming her to the afterlife. So, Ash, technically you could actually bury her remains right underneath the Arctic Ramfox's feet. That would be kind of a fitting way for her to go, too. We could have you scoot over here, dig up that root, and then jump as far back as you possibly can. I guess over to this side so you can melt down more of that snow, too. And now that Sycamore is feeling a little bit more invigorated, maybe just from talking with Jolly, she feels like she has her confidence, I guess. And since she's already taken down one of the Arctic Ramfoxes, she knows she can do it again. She probably even feels a little bit fearless after the Arctic Ramfoxes refuse to touch her. That spiky body might just be the thing that saves you. Oh my gosh. And you took that one down too? Alright, Jolly, come on over here if you can. Right down here so you're not too close. That way you can grab the meat before any of the other foxes get any bright ideas. Oh, there you are. Oh, watching Kiara? Now I think she understands your scheming ways now, so you're not going to be able to trick her. But she still wants to know why you did what you did. Why would you cause so much trouble for our tribe? We hardly even know you, Komi. Maybe Komi would confide in Kiara? I mean, she did lure away the creatures who felt the most lost, probably because she feels a connection with them. So maybe she'd be willing to tell her story about this Arctic Ramfox pack that stole her away, maybe even as a baby too. She is pretty young, so she probably couldn't fight back. I wonder if Kiara would start to feel sorry for her, or if she would still be suspicious. Is she really telling the truth? Is she just lying to gain her trust again? We're gonna have to wait a few more days to find out, I guess. Hopefully she'll skitter on back to Kiara's side so we could maybe offer up some food. She's probably still looking around for you, Sparrow, to be honest. You seem to really make her day. So I'm sure that you're looking forward to taking Falcon out for a journey, but I don't think he's quite ready yet. In fact, we'd probably best scoot him away from the shores. We'll have Sparrow nudge him back onto the mountain earth and clean up that old nest of his too. You could try to show him how to flap his wings, maybe. Nice big mighty flaps so he can soar into the sky as soon as he has his second gem. And Winterberry, I know you're going to take your job very seriously, so why don't you go ahead and pick up where Willow left off? We'll bring you right down here, and while I'm sure it's going to be very hard for you to sniff out any roots. Yeah, it doesn't look like you're going to find a single one out here, unless you just so happen to stumble directly into one. At least that pathway will be clear for other creatures to use. Only 2 days remaining? Wait a second, Solstice, I think this is your last day. I mean, I kind of feel like we should try to have one more baby with her. It couldn't hurt, right? If we maybe bring Sparrow over here, we could have her settle down next to him, and she should be able to build just one more nest. Oh no, don't let the fertility get in the way. Thank goodness. So while you won't be able to purr for your family before you go, at least you can leave them with just one more baby. And you know that Willow is going to take such good care of them. I really wish that she could have been there to see the remains of the rogue mill set to rest, but I guess that's not going to happen. Willow is just going to have to take up that job alone. So come on back here, standing high atop the cliffs. You can watch over your sister as the day passes. It's kind of sad, too. These two were meant to be the re-embodiment of the Balance Sisters, but there's one great flaw with that. Solstice is sick, and Willow isn't. So she's leaving our tribe far, far too soon. She's only 12 days old. She barely had the chance to really show her stuff. So I hope that her children will be able to take up her place. Now we're going to leave Kiara right there inside the hot springs? Though I suppose we could always have her jump to this one instead. Where is our little snow ghost? Way down here by the nest? I wonder if this is where she is taken up her home, as far away from the Ramfox pack as she can get. Yeah, we're going to leave her right here. I feel like we'd have a better chance of meeting the snow ghost if we leave her there. So let's zoom in and see if hopefully this baby is going to have the double wings too. Oh my gosh, I thought maybe she made it. But unfortunately she did pass after all. And we've also received a gift of yet another walrus deer. Now that is pretty special. But poor Sparrow, I think you actually caught her colds. Part of it is probably just seeing his love pass. It's very difficult to deal with a death on the mountains, but you have so much to be grateful for, including this brand new little baby in the nest who almost looks exactly like her brother. She's only missing the blue eyes that connect him to the sea, I suppose. But she has those 2 wings and she has the purse now too. Oh no, but she has the swimming tail as well? That's not good. That means that she might actually succumb to the cold of the mountain air. She has the big body, so she does have a little bit of strength against it, but I don't think it's going to be enough to save her from freezing. So we're going to have to be really careful with you, little one. So they might not be quite as colorful as she is, but I think we're going to name her Lark. Kind of makes me wish that we had named her brother Goldfinch, but I suppose that there's always a chance we could name one of their future babies instead, assuming that they carry on that beautiful golden fur. So what are we going to do about this walrus deer? I guess first we better make sure that nobody else is in danger. It looks like there's just one Arctic Ramfox left, so you better grab up that meat. We'll have Jolly go ahead and do it. She's been a pretty good team with Sycamore anyways. And then you can lunge in and land in another good attack. Though since she is feeling cold again, it won't be quite enough. Do you think maybe Jolly could finish the job for us? There's only 3 days remaining on its lifespan. Ooh, just one more hit from you. Let's have Ash come over here to clear out the way for you. We're not losing track of the walrus deer just yet. It's still pretty close by, so we have some extra time. Jump on in, Jolly, and land your first attack on the Arctic Ramfoxes too. Another good bonding moment between you and Sycamore, so you don't have to worry about her falling astray again. And now let's see if we can lock our sights on that walrus deer next. That does mean that we're probably going to have to bring Willow down here to take care of the baby, but honestly I feel like that's pretty fitting anyways. As Sparrow and his son go flying off for great adventures, Willow will raise Lark in Solstice's name, and it looks like you've finally come around to Comey's story. So since it seems like we're not going to get another chance like this, go ahead and offer up a little bit of your extra food to her. Now I know she doesn't have the best genetics out there, especially as far as the eyes are concerned, but I'm hoping that she'll be able to help us keep the heat body in our tribe, assuming that we can find a suitable partner for her. And honestly, that would just be you two. Oh, is she actually compatible with Falcon? Okay, she is. That's a good sign. Maybe you two can cross paths someday. She even has one of the wings, so it'd be more likely to see those double wings on their babies. Not to mention those antennas, a trait from the oracles, which makes you wonder if maybe her true family had some oracle influence. But she probably doesn't even remember them. Well, for now it seems like it's you two against the world. So let's try clearing out some more of the snow, I guess. You know, they're probably going to need your help down here. You might not have the best attack strength, but if you can come down here just to melt the snow and shovel out the paths, that would probably be for the best. We might even be able to guide Kiara over to her old hot springs that she once shared with her mentor, and I'm sure she would be very happy to see this old place again. Maybe we can even find those fish that we saw before. So Sparrow, with your baby protected now, let's have you lead the way for your son. Oh, he should probably purr for you too. Oh my gosh. Or not. Go ahead and land your first attack because that is way more important. Food over purring for Falcon any day. I think I also saw that he found a root over here too. Ah, excellent. Right next to those hot springs yet again. So as long as they bring this message back to you, Willow, you might finally have a place to set the remains of that rogue male to rest. And I know that your sister is going to be very, very happy. Though for that matter, you kind of need to find a place to set your sister to rest too. I wonder if maybe she would do that first. No, I think she would set the rogue male to rest. She knows that her sister isn't going to be satisfied anyway, unless she carries out that wish. Now, Winterberry, as much as I hate to lead you so far away from the tribe, I am curious if you can find anything out here. Let's have you settle down inside this hot spring for a moment. It would probably be for the best anyways. That'll allow you to clear out a pathway for the other creatures to use too, so we have access to even more of these warm spaces. And now we should be ready to skip the day once more. So let's zoom out this time, now that all of the danger has passed. Not a single predator on the mountain anymore. Are we going to see a new dangerous spawn in the darkness today? It looks like all is quiet so far, so sniff around for us. Anything else looking to munch on our walrus deer, perhaps? Oh, look at this! There's another route down here too. Excellent! So it seems like even more are spawning out here, probably because we said that we were going to use this one for the rogue male. So I guess Solstice was pleased. The only problem is the baby. She's going to be left alone on this turn. Poor little Lark. So soon after her mother passed. Maybe she'll be okay though. It's not as though we have any bluebirds in our skies. So we'll let it slide just this once. Just this once again, I suppose. And how fitting too, isn't it always this family? Raven's own daughter is going to end up leaving this baby alone. Not in a malicious way though, and she'll be right back. Oh, hello, Mr. Walrus dear. Stomping on our graves now, I see how it is. Send him packing for us, Falcon. We have a ritual to perform after all. We can have Lark try her best to keep up. Maybe Willow even thought that she could, but she's still a little bit too young for that, and she's probably feeling a little bit weak. Though she doesn't have her mother's sickness, maybe she does still feel its effects, and it just makes it harder for her to get around. But you know, since you won't be able to get that other route on this turn, you might as well just go straight back to the little baby's side. Then we don't have to worry that anything is going to happen to you. Now, where did our walrus deer go? Ooh, you found yourself quite smitten with the ghost of winter too. Well, the walrus deer still has over half of its lifespan left, but you guys might be able to scare it back toward our tribe. I feel like that would be a pretty good way for you to win the trust of our sky pirates. Oh no, but it looks like Comey can't actually attack. Yeah, because of all the damage that the Arctic ram foxes did on her when she was so little. She doesn't have much in the way of strength. She can try her best, and at least she did scare it, but it's kind of veering off toward the shores now. Oh, she's probably so mad at herself. Here was her chance to prove herself. Well, it's kind of working. If only we could bar off the walrus deer from going this way, because I'm afraid it's still going to turn around. But at least it's something. And at least we could have Sparrow fly down here. Oh, excellent. Now it definitely can't go down that way. So we've trapped it between our two birds. We don't have many other turns to make right now, but I guess we might as well leave them right there. Maybe they'll get lucky and the deer will turn back for another hit. Now go ahead and collect your prize, Sycamore. One fresh batch of Arctic ram fox stew for you. You could share it with both your sister and your mother. The mother that you never truly had. Now I would have them go exploring a little bit more, but I feel like Ash would probably pull them away. She can sense that another storm is going to start in 2 days, so she knows the tribe needs to band together now. And for that matter, if we could get Sycamore involved in this hunt, we could take down the walrus deer really fast. So Jolly, try your best to guide her down this way. Oh, excellent! You could even take your own swipe. We'll have Ash come over here, maybe trying to block the walrus deer from getting away. Yeah, it looked like he was trying to sneak his way past our little ghost. He probably figured that this was the weakest link among us. We might as well have Sparrow hop over here now too. He can push the walrus deer straight towards Sycamore since it's so far away from the shores. We don't have to worry about it escaping anymore. And likewise, Falcon, let's set you up for the next attack too. We'll bring you over here, and hopefully one of you will be close enough to land a hit. Oh, but we still have Winterberry. Oh no. I wonder if the walrus deer is going to skitter away then? Well, we have to bring you back. I don't think you found anything out here. And to be honest, all of this darkness is probably starting to creep you out. So let's bring you back toward the Sky Pirates. We'll sit you down right here, melting away all of the snow in the meantime. And there we go, Jolly can still land a good attack on the next turn. We might even bring Sparrow right here, so he'll be even closer. So let's go ahead and skip the day now, which will leave only one more day before it starts to snow again. And a message from the ancestors, another excellent bluebird in our skies. So the glaciers have still yet to melt. In fact, all of the snow looks pretty sturdy, but we're at least going to see this weather cycle through. So, do you think Sparrow would actually turn his attentions to the bluebird instead? I mean, I get the feeling that Falcon probably would. If nobody else, Falcon can try his best to compete with his father. Yeah, let's have Jolly go ahead and land her attack on the walrus deer. Oh, looks like you chose right. The walrus deer was not very fazed by your attack, but it only has 19 days remaining. So if we could just bring somebody over this way, somebody who could light up the way to the bluebird. There we go. Oh, it's right over your head. I don't think Falcon is going to be able to land that attack, not unless you want him to literally crash land right on your head. So scoot back here instead. There we go. Now Falcon has a fair shot. And can we take his dad up there to finish the job? He's just that tiny bit stronger, so he can take down that bluebird in one more hit. Excellent, so we're still above 100 pieces of food. It's so strange to think that so many episodes ago, we were literally starving. But our tribe has really banded together, they've pulled through, and I think they're going to be able to make it until these glaciers finally melt. So is the walrus deer trying that old method again? That old strategy of escaping down the shore? Let's have Comey try to block it. I guess she's kind of hiding too. I mean, she knows that Sycamore is around now. She probably doesn't want her to see her, because she would definitely send her packing. But with you standing right there, there's no way that the walrus deer is going to be able to sneak by you. Now I think maybe we could bring Kiara up here too. She could settle down inside this hot spring because goodness knows she needs it. The poor thing was getting so cold. And I think we had the roots over here too, right? Yeah, 2 roots side by side. So while we have set the remains of the rogue male to rest, now would be the perfect opportunity for Willow to come over here and bury her sister too. You know, this might be the same spot that her mother was buried. Ranger was buried here so long ago, so close to the healing fruit, or the water-breathing fruit at least. That should be right down here too. So yeah, I don't think there's any more fitting place that we could have used. Solstice is going to be very happy there. Now Lark can flutter over to Willow too, perhaps mourning her lost mother. We'll set her up inside the hot springs though, so she won't have to worry about getting cold. Though I wonder if maybe she could try her hand at attacking too. Like, even though she's not the strongest, she's still just as good as her brother. They both have that same 3 in attack strength. So illness or not, she can land a good punch too. But really, I think her main claim to fame is just going to be her purring. Her healing magic. And since her reckless brother and her equally reckless father both need a little bit of healing, maybe we should go ahead and do that on this turn. Flutter on down here, Sparrow. Drag Falcon behind you. As much as he hates to waste any time when he could be hunting. Your sister has a pretty good point. You're just gonna run yourself ragged if you don't come back for healing every now and then. It almost seems like we might trap this walrus deer right at the shores now. Right up against those ports. Yeah, if it keeps going that way, we might have a good shot. We could bring Sparrow over here maybe? If he sets up right here, I don't think the walrus deer can walk anywhere past this point. We'd have to bring somebody down here too, and somebody to block off the rest of the ports, of course. Maybe that could even be you, Winterberry. Coming back to report to your sky pirate captain, though I'm afraid the news isn't so great. And with only Comey left to make her turn, maybe we'll have her paw nervously at these little flowers. She's probably trying to hide behind them, because she can definitely see that Sycamore is right around the corner. So one last time, let's go ahead and skip the day. just to see as the snow begins to descend in the peaks. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, where do we look first? Okay. Well, I like this. I like this little guy right here. How adorable does he look? Oh, that orange fur with the heat body. And he's the male too. We do desperately need males. So we might have to sweep little Nuke here off of his feet. I'm sure that he would be compatible with at least one of the females in our tribe. But you back here, you are definitely not the sort of male that we were looking for. A blind rogue male right next to the balance bear too. Interesting how they spawn together. Oh my goodness. Oh, Ash. No. Let's get you right out of there. Okay. You have sensed some serious danger. It is time for you to leave. You can settle down right next to Jolly, I suppose. Tap her on the shoulder and let her know that we have a serious issue back there. No wonder she wanted all the tribe to come together. That is probably the exact danger that she was sensing. And while we're here, let's check too. Oh. In 2 days, the weather is going to be sunny with heat. Oh my gosh, you guys. Sunny with 1 heat, that probably means that it's going to start to melt. Oh no, I was going to end the episode there, but I don't see how I can now. The weather will just reset if I turn off the game. Oh my gosh. Okay, it looks like we're going to play for a couple more days then. Well, let's make sure that we keep an eye to our backs, because I'm sure that rogue male is going to be looking for you soon. In fact, let's scoot Ash right up to the front. That'll help block off the walrus deer. And our new little friend. Oh my gosh, are you blocking the walrus deer from our tribe? It's almost like he's lunging in front of it like, no, this is my friend. Don't you dare lay upon him. Nuke here, seriously. It's snowing. We need food. We could offer you a little bit of the food that we have, but we're going to have to take down this walrus deer little guy. I'm very, very sorry. I mean, at least we have a couple of roots out here that we could use. Ash could definitely dig that up on the next turn. It'll be worth much more in her paws after all. But now we have to see if we can get Sparrow over to the walrus deer next. Let's have him fly over here, stopping the walrus deer in his tracks. Oh, Nuke here, do you have it in you to harm him? I mean, I guess you could say that it may have just been jealousy. Maybe he had been tracking down this walrus deer too, and he didn't want our tribe to take the entire reward for themselves. So if that's the case, I can see him lending them a pawn now. He understands that the food is going to go to everybody. Maybe he's never even been part of a tribe before, so this is just all new territory to him. He's going to have to learn how to share just like everybody else here. Now Falcon, swoop on over so you can help your father. Oh, he disappeared awfully quick. Maybe Lark could help out? Yeah, reveal him for us, Lark. There you go. Land a good attack, Falcon. Another one too. We might actually be able to take this thing down on this turn as well. We'll just have to get Sycamore involved. That distracts her from Comey as well, so she won't even notice as she attacks the walrus deer one extra time. Now if it just gets close enough to you, Sparrow. Yes, another attack. One more day remaining. Oh, Lark, you might be able to prove yourself here. You have that one extra turn that we need. So Winterberry, if you could spook her straight into Lark's waiting claws. There we go. Another gigantic harvest for our tribe. Go ahead and pick that straight up and offer it to all of your tribe mates, but especially to you, Nuke here. I think Willow herself would probably offer up the food first, just to show that the tribe wasn't lying. Now I would have Comey stay on the shores behind all of her precious flowers, but I think she would be a little bit more valuable if she walked into the center of the tribe. That way she can help by keeping all of these spaces open, so our tribe won't get smothered by the snow. Maybe she even figures this is a good way of hiding too, slinking back into the deep snows so she can blend in with her snowy fur. But of course when it melts, all of that is going to change. And Jolly, so happy that her daughter has succeeded, probably wouldn't even notice her either. She'll just shove her way down here so she can sit right next to Sycamore, proud as can be. And maybe share the news that Ash brought with her too. Like, nobody seems to want to listen to the Oracle right now, but she has seen some pretty scary things. I have a feeling that this might be Kiara's last day. The poor thing, she never did get the chance to have a family. But to be honest, I think she found something even greater. She was such good friends with so many of our youth. She's really passed on her own knowledge to so many of the diggers. That means the Gravedigger's ways are going to continue on, and hopefully nobody will ever be lost on this mountain again. So since we have Nukia right here to melt the snow around these creatures, let's move Willow back to this tile, and then I think we should be ready to skip this day. With one little root right there waiting to bury Kiara's remains. So let's zoom out just to make sure that nothing is going to come after us. Nothing lurking in the darkness. Did the balance bear come any closer? Or perhaps those Arctic ram foxes? Not even the rogue male. Interesting. Well, I'm not going to complain. If they want to stay out there in the dark, then they can certainly do so. So come on over here, Ash. Go ahead and bury Kiara's remains. And then maybe you could leap on top of like the bunny burrow or something. I guess you're going to have to come over here instead, right inside the hot springs, and try your best to convince the tribe that they need to move. I mean, maybe we could just start making our way down the shore? Toward the glaciers? I don't know if it's too early to celebrate. I'm not sure if that's truly going to be the amount of heat that we need. But it's different, and that's what has me the most excited. Usually it says like -2 for colds. I've never actually seen it say heat before, so let's round everybody up. Winterberry can carve the pathway since she knows this general location anyways. This was the way that she went and the pathway that she carved. So now she can finally lead her captain there too. We'll have him use his grand wings to fly straight ahead, and both of his children can follow. Almost like they're playing leapfrog in a way. The farther one goes, the farther the rest of them can go too. That's the beauty of the wings though. It's going to be much harder for the rest of these creatures to keep up. I wonder if maybe Comey would be the one to stay behind here with Ash? Do you think Ash would recognize her from the visions? She did catch a glimpse of the ghost of winter in her visions after all, so she might not be so willing to trust her. But I think I saw that you actually found a root back here? Oh, well, that might be a good way to get on her good side then. Maybe you can mention that when she has a little bit of extra energy. Just one more bit of food to take along the journey. So let's have you guys catch up too. I guess it makes sense that Nukia is following in the back. He's still not so convinced about this tribe thing. Oh my goodness, and I almost missed that. Comey! Oh no, it looks like you attracted the attention of the rogue male after all. Well, let's bring you down here, I guess. As far away as we can. Maybe we should go back here then. Oh no. Oh, that's not going to work. I guess we could have Sparrow fly back instead. He would definitely be able to send him packing. And he's pretty familiar with Comey anyways. Well, you better hurry down the way too, Willow. We'll bring you this way. It looks like he might be retreating. Oh, I thought maybe he would leave us alone, but it's not going to be enough until you finally attack him. Let's at least bring Nukia up here this time, so he can try his hand at lighting up the way for our tribe, I guess, even if he doesn't really understand it. So this is it. The end of the cycle of weather. Let's see what it does when we skip the day. The snow should end. Oh my gosh, and the skies have cleared. Are you serious? Have we finally done it? I mean, the glaciers are still there. That has me a little bit concerned. But this seriously looks like the heat wave. Okay, what do your visions say now, Ash? Is everything looking clear? In 13 days, the weather is going to be cold again. 13 days! Alright, that is definitely going to melt those glaciers. We're going to have to do some speed rounds here then, because I am not losing this. So go ahead and attack the rogue male, get him out of here. Oh! You are not a rogue male. Oh, a little sunbeam. They're all thawing out now. And he's equipped with a claw for bunny hunting. Maybe he's heard a few whispers about bunnies coming out of their burrows. It's nice and warm now, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do finally show their faces. Well, Falcon, I'm sure, is a bit too distracted by this bluebird over his head. But I suppose that lark could offer up a little bit of food. I mean, if you're gonna help us catch some bunnies, then we could definitely make use of you, even if we don't bring your genetics into the tribe. And you are still back there, roguemale? You are still lurking back there? I guess it's not very safe to bring Ash to that root then. Yeah, he is literally standing right on top of it. We're going to have to bring her down the shore instead and see if she can pick up those other roots. Ah, here we go. One more swipe from you, Sparrow, and that roguemale should be history. So now Comey can move around with a little bit more peace. We'll bring her back up here so she can try her best to get Ash's attention. Though to be honest, she may have lost her chance. I don't think Ash wants anything more to do with this mountain. Oh no, and speaking of losing chances, Falcon, I think you may have let that bluebird slip away. Well, there's always still the chance that it could come back around, and as Kirtaro carves the path, maybe he can help you out. We'll have Lark flutter over to his side, and have her try her best to clear out the pathway too. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, our very first bunny! Yes! Oh, things are finally looking up for us. Kirtaro, you were certainly right. Well, he doesn't have enough energy to pick it up on this turn, but you know, Falcon, you could actually swoop in and take care of it instead. Oh, that has to be so invigorating. Here you thought that you would only ever catch bluebirds in the skies, and of course the occasional walrus deer too, but the bunnies are a brand new snack for you. There's even tons of roots up here too. One over here, one by the burrow. Oh, this is perfect. Let's bring the rest of our tribe mates up there too. I wonder how long it's going to take for the glaciers to actually melt though. Do you think maybe... Oh dear. Oh, do you think all the snow is going to have to be gone first? Oh, I definitely heard that. It's getting so hot now too. I wonder if some of our creatures are going to start struggling underneath the heat. Creatures like Sparrow with this big body, or heat-bodied creatures. Oh, can you imagine? Well, I don't think we have time to waste with you. It's time for us to return to the rest of the tribe. All of these stragglers are going to get lost out here if they're not careful. Comey is probably trying her best to catch up to Ash, but she is having none of it. To be honest, it kind of seems like that route is cursed. So Sparrow will swoop to her side and try to convince her that it just isn't worth it. They need to continue on because the path is finally lit for them. You must know the way to the glaciers, Nukir. Let's have you finish carving the way to the shore. Oh, and Kirtaro. You even found us a little stump? I wonder if this is his hunting stump. His scout's throne, perhaps. With all these bunny burrows around, it would be the perfect location to pounce. The only problem is right now, we have so many creatures here, there is no way any of the bunnies are going to spawn. So maybe this is where you part ways with our tribe, so you can stay behind for the food. Now let's skip the day again. Will today be the day? It's a little bit lower. Oh my gosh, and the heat here too. The screen is looking fiery now. And to look at that, your patience actually paid off for you. I know you have a walrus deer right behind you, but honestly, the bunnies are probably a better meal. Another rogue male. Oh my goodness, they must all be taken by that beautiful fur of yours. Tricked by the snow goddess once more. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be very easy to shake this guy, and of course Comey can't attack him. So you just scoot over here and try your best to lead him toward one of the stronger tribe mates. Like Sycamore, I guess. Well, this is an interesting way for you two to cross paths again. Now it seems as though Sycamore has saved you, and I wonder how she feels about that. It must be really difficult for her to swallow after all of the trouble that Comey caused. But she wouldn't leave a tribe mate in danger like that. Oh, she found a root too. Finally, look at this. You can finally give Ash her root. Finally a way to gain the little digger's trust. Well, maybe you'll be able to reconcile after all. It is certainly a good sign. Now I think we'll just have Willow go ahead and dig up the roots that she finds, because we are so close to these ports now, and the snow is so shallow too, we don't even have to dig our way through this stuff. It is nearly time for us to leave. I almost feel like our sky pirates should be the first ones to land their feet down on those ports. Or at least as close as they can get while the glaciers are still so frozen like this. let's bring Sparrow to the front. We can have him investigate. Oh, is there something that we can do here? Ice is blocking the way. It will melt when winter's over. Waiting seems to be the only option. Gosh, we have never actually been this close before. Well, it sure sounds like the wait is nearly over. Let's even bring Nuclear over here too. Maybe having him over here by the shores will be enough to melt this thing once and for all. Now, I do believe this is going to be Jolly's final day, so there's no better place for her to be than right here, right between all of her kids. Even if they weren't truly hers, she sure did feel like they were, and she must feel closer to Hawthorne than ever. So let's go ahead and skip the day again, crossing our fingers for the glaciers to finally be free. Oh my gosh, guys. It took forever, but we have finally done it. We are finally ready to go to the next island. That was 81 days on this miserable, miserable mountain. So in the next episode, we're going to go to the Crossing Island. And I think you guys know what's waiting for us there. So for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys!